Elon Musk just purchased this foldable home.
I actually have a Buxable, yeah.
You do?
Some prototype Buxable that's down in South Texas. Yeah.
It's an out-of-the-box idea, building a home on an assembly.
The World Economic Forum said 8 years ago in 2016 that you will own nothing and you'll be happy. It seems like this saying is becoming more and more true every day. With studios and small apartments costing hundreds of thousands of dollars in every bigger city, owning real estate is slowly becoming not just a commodity for the average Joe, but a luxury that they can't even afford. But Elon Musk has decided to stop this with his long-awaited affordable house that will be available to the public for as little as $330,000. You may have heard that Elon Musk sold almost everything he owned and moved into a tiny prefab $50,000 house a few years ago. This house was built by a Las Vegas company called Boxable, which specializes in making small, affordable, and useful housing for Americans. These houses are an evolution of regular prefab homes that have been completely simplified to the point that building, or more specifically, putting this house together, would only take you a couple of hours. Before Musk bought his small, Elon Musk's decision to live in this type of house caused such a stir in the world of tiny prefab houses that Boxable quickly received over 100,000 orders. Can you even imagine how big of an effect this had? The house's main selling point was its modularity, or how easy and cheap it was to change the layout of the inside and outside. As time went on, it became clearer that Elon didn't move to this house out of the goodness of his heart, or because he was tired of his material things. Instead, he did it because he thought it would generate a lot of interest in similar homes, which would have helped him grow his business. So, Elon took the approach that Boxable took with their house and made some changes to make it even more appealing and interesting to people who don't have a lot of money to spend on real estate. After Elon showed his prototype of Tesla's own tiny house, hundreds of thousands of people were genuinely interested in it. And between 50,000 and 100,000 people ended up on a waiting list for it. See, Elon Musk had a general idea of what a house like the Boxable one could do, and how to make it more interesting and cheaper than the first one. One important thing that kept coming up was weight. Elon came up with the idea of making a mobile home instead of a stationary one. This kind of home could be made totally immobile, or could be moved from one place to another if needed. For people in desperate need, he would provide a permanent and stable place to stay. For people with extra money, he would provide a house that can be attached to a pickup truck and driven across the country for a weekend getaway. Tesla has already tested it with the Model X, and it passed with flying colors. But in order to do that, he had to find a way to make it lighter and stronger. So he turned to natural materials, specifically hardwood. The most important thing about Tesla's tiny house is that it will be made entirely of hardwood on the outside. This will lower the cost of the house and make it lighter. Also, because hardwood is laminated, it will be stronger, and the wood itself has been coated and protected against any weather on the outside. The house's frame is made of non-degradable steel and concrete, which should make you feel even safer at night. Hardwood is also a great insulator, so the house won't get too hot or too cold in the summer or winter. This means you'll use a lot less electricity, and even if you do use AC or heating, it will take a lot less time because the house is smaller and easier to keep at the right temperature. Elon's new home can also have solar screens and a whole solar energy system installed, which would make it possible to build a home that doesn't need any outside energy at all. Establishing the house at the end of the world wouldn't affect the electricity supply, and it would also be a very environmentally friendly choice for those of us who care about the planet. For starters, the electricity is 100% renewable and carbon-free. Hardwood is also very environmentally friendly, and building this house doesn't require many tools, sometimes none at all. The best thing about this house, though, is probably how modular it is. If you don't like the size of the house, you can easily buy another one and stack them on top of each other, or even add on to the ground level. This will cost a lot, but compared to regular apartments, it will still be pretty cheap. As you may have noticed from the title, the base model of this house costs only $30,000. That includes solar panels and furniture, which brings up the next question. Why is it so cheap? Well, Elon's plan for this house is a great way to market it. It will get a lot of buyers, which means he'll make a lot of money. Besides that, this house will have its own ecosystem, which means that a Tesla vehicle will work best with it, especially when it comes to charging. This means that owners of these houses will probably buy a Tesla vehicle in the future, because they will already be familiar with the brand and its ecosystem. Also, the house itself will be very cheap to build for Elon, because it will mostly be made of hardwood, which is one of the cheapest building materials you can buy right now. The price range for the house itself for the buyer is between $10,000 and $50,000. We think that a house with no furniture, no solar panels, and not many other interesting features will cost around $20,000. A house with average features will cost around $30,000, and the nicest ones will sell for nearly $50,000. As of now, Tesla has a lot of problems with their cars, the most notable of which is the Cybertruck. They need to fix these problems before they can focus on a bigger problem. Also, building a house like this isn't easy. Tesla will have to install or provide you with things like the power wall and solar panels before delivering the house to you, which costs a lot of money. And speaking of money, the price tag is mostly based on how much everything will cost once they reach mass production. Right. But we don't think that means you won't be able to buy one for decades. We think it will be available in a couple of years, though at a higher than average price. Thankfully, because Tesla is a serious and large brand, unlike Boxable, this will be possible soon into the house's lifespan. That being said, you will have to pay more in the first few years. So until then, stick with the tried and true prefab builders. Thanks for watching this video, and subscribe for more videos.